How's everyone doing today, and welcome back to the Aimtec Academy. The Aimtec Academy is really the best place to learn about Aimtec's new models and where you can actually use these models in real-life applications. Today, we're going to be talking about how Aimtec models can be used in UVC disinfection applications. So without further ado, let's hop into the course. Welcome to Aimtec's UVC disinfection application course. So what is ultraviolet radiation? So here we have an actual diagram of the different rays that the sun actually emits. So we have ultraviolet, visible light, and then infrared light. And ultraviolet is part of the spectrum of non-visible light. So ultraviolet radiation reaches the Earth's surface in wavelengths between 290 nanometers and 400 nanometers. Visible light is between 400 and 700 nanometers, and then infrared is above 700. 1 nanometer is equal to 1 billionth of a meter. So within the ultraviolet radiation spectrum, we have classified the UV rays into 3 types. UVA, which are long wave, so from 315 to 400 nanometers, UVB, medium wave, from 280 to 315, and UVC, short wave, from 100 to 280. And UVC are the type of waves that we will be talking about in this course. So how does UV sterilization actually work? Unlike chemical approaches to water disinfection, UV light provides rapid and effective inactivation of microorganisms through a physical process. When bacteria, viruses, and protozoa are exposed to the germicidal wavelengths of this UV light, they are rendered incapable of reproducing and infecting. UV light has demonstrated efficacy against pathogen organisms, including those responsible for cholera, polio, and typhoid. In addition, UV light, either alone or in conjunction with hydrogen peroxide, can destroy chemical contaminants such as pesticides, industrial solvents, and pharmaceuticals through a process called UV oxidation. So in short, microorganisms are inactivated by UV light as a result of damage to nucleic acids. The high energy associated with short wavelength UV energy, primarily at 254 nanometer, is absorbed by cellular RNA and DNA. And this absorption of this light is what causes this DNA and RNA strands to actually no longer be able to reproduce. So here are a few safety advantages of actually using this disinfection process. Disinfection through UV light is a chemical-free process. UV light is highly effective at inactivating a broad range of microorganisms. On top of what we mentioned previously, this type of disinfection process requires no transportation, no storage, or handling of toxic and corrosive chemicals, which is a safety benefit for plant operators and the surrounding community. UV treatment creates no carcinogenic disinfection byproducts as well, so it's a much cleaner way to actually disinfect products. So now that we have a better understanding about what UVC disinfection actually entails, let's have a look at how Aimtec models can actually be used to power these disinfection processes. So first off, we'll look at the UVC cabinet drawer. So this is simply a cabinet where we insert the actual item that we want to be disinfected into the cabinet drawers, and then the lights will do that for us. So when it comes to actually powering these LEDs, we can use the AMEPR 30D-AZ-U, AMEPR 40Z, AMEPR 50N-Z, and AMEPR 60N-Z. These are all 9x264 VAC input LED drivers with an output up to 48 VDC. At the same time, we can also power the components of the actual cabinet with Aimtec's AC-DC converters. In this instance, we have the AME3 SHAVZ series that we can use. In this case, we're talking about the 5-volt output model. We have the AME3 CJZ and the AME03 VZ, all in 5-volt output. And these different converters can power the LDO, the LCD display, the touchscreen, and the lid switch, as well as the MCU. Now we'll be looking at a water dispenser with UVC water treatment. So this is simply a little module that you would add on to your water intake, and within the module there's a UVC LED that purifies the water for you. So this is a quick, cheap, and efficient way to actually filter water or to purify water without having to use mechanical filtration. So in this case, we're going to be using Aimtec's DC-DC LED drivers to power this module. And at the entry point of this circuit, we're looking at Aimtec's AC-DC converter offering. So we're going to be using anywhere from a 25 watt AC-DC converter, such as the AME25 CJZ, up to the AME40 VZ, which is a 40-watt AC-DC converter. And we're going to be using an output of 24 VDC, which is why Aimtec's LED drivers further along in the circuit are set up to receive an input voltage of 24 VDC. We can also use Aimtec's switching regulators to power the MCU and the LCD display. Now we'll be moving on to the UVC disinfection robot. This is simply a robot that could roam a free space and actually disinfect the area around it thanks to its UVC LED bulbs that it has on top of itself. So in this case, again, we're going to be using Aimtec's DC-DC LED drivers, such as the AMLDV-NZ, to power the UVC LEDs. Since the robot is much more complex, Aimtec modules can be used at various different areas within the robot itself. So we're looking at Aimtec's DC-DC isolated converters that can power items such as the MCU or the encoder, and these DC-DC converters actually get power from Aimtec's new 10 amp switching regulator, or the AMSROL10-NZ, which receives its power from the 48 volt battery. So this actually steps down the power from 48 volts to 24 volts. And this 10 watt switching regulator doesn't only power the DC-DC converters, it can also power the PC-based platform, as well as supply power to lower wattage Aimtec switching regulators such as the AMSRI1-78NZ, which would then power the camera, or the laser rangefinder. So these robots are already being used in hospitals, and we can see an increasing demand for them. Now we'll be moving on to an HVAC UVC LED air purifier. So this is simply a module that we attach to an existing HVAC system, which will enable it to offer additional filtration and pathogen removal. So similar to the other UVC LEDs, this one is powered with another one of Aimtec's DC-DC LED drivers, such as the AMLB-Z. So just as in the other diagrams, the advantage of using Aimtec's DC-DC LED drivers is that it offers isolated power which protects your system peripherals and circuits, ensuring they don't get damaged by incoming surges or short failure. For a complete list of Aimtec models, visit aimtec.com. On our website, we not only have a complete list of our product portfolio, but we also have easy to digest information in our catalog and our application guide. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Hope you enjoyed this quick course on UVC applications for Aimtec modules and that you actually learned something useful. Again, if you have any questions or comments about the course, don't hesitate to contact us and we'll be more than happy to answer your questions or at least listen to your suggestions. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Good luck in the quiz and we will see you in the next course.